The Northern Cardinal. This is from the notebooks of John James Audubon, that great American ornithologist and artist. 1785 to 1851 is when he lived. Here are his reflections on the Northern Cardinal. In richness of plumage, elegance of motion, and strength of song, this species surpasses all its kindred in the United States. It is known by the names of redbird, Virginia nightingale, cardinal bird, and northern cardinal. It is very abundant in all our southern states, as well as in the peninsula of the Floridas. In the western country, a great number are found as far up on the Ohio as the city of Cincinnati, and they extend to considerable distances into Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. They are found in the maritime districts of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, where they breed, and where a few remain the whole year. Some are also seen in the state of New York, and now and then a straggler proceeds into Massachusetts. But farther eastward, this species has never been observed. This fine songster relishes the interior of the forest and the heart of the deepest canebrakes or retired swamps, as well as the neighborhood of cities. It is constantly found in our fields, orchards, and gardens. Nay, it often enters the very streets of our southern towns and villages to breed. And it is rare that one goes into a planter's yard without observing the redbird skipping about the trees or on the turf beneath them. Go where it may, it is always welcome, and everywhere a favorite, so rich is its song and so brilliant its plumage. The nest is placed, apparently without much consideration, in some low briar, bush, or tree, often near the fence, the middle of a field, or the interior of a thicket, not far from a cooling stream, to which they are fond of resorting, for the purpose of drinking and bathing. Sometimes you find it placed close to the planter's house or in his garden, a few yards from that of the mockingbird or the thrasher. It is composed of dry leaves and twigs, together with a large proportion of dry grass and slips of grapevines, and is finished within with bent grass, wrought in a circular form. The eggs are from 4 to 6, of a dull white color, marked all over with touches of olive brown. In the southern districts, they now and then raise 3 broods in the season, but in the middle states, seldom more than 1. The young, on leaving the nest, frequently follow their parents on the ground for several days, after which they disperse and seek for food apart. During the pairing season, the males are so pugnacious that although they breed near birds of other species, they never allow one of their own to nestle in their vicinity. One male may be seen following another from bush to bush, emitting a shrill note of anger and diving towards the fugitive antagonist whenever an opportunity offers, until the latter has escaped quite beyond his jurisdiction, when the conqueror, elated, returns to his grounds, ascends his favorite tree, and pours out his song in full exultation. Those which migrate to the eastward begin to move about the commencement of March, usually in the company of the Towie bunting and other sparrows, hopping and passing from bush to bush during the whole day, announcing to the traveler and husbandman the approach of a more genial season, and resting at night in the secluded swamps. Those which migrate to the eastward begin to move about the commencement of March, usually in the company of the Towie bunting and other sparrows, hopping and passing from bush to bush during the whole day, announcing to the traveler and husbandman the approach of a more genial season, and resting at night in the secluded swamps. The males precede the females about 10 days. Towards autumn, they frequently ascend to the tops of tall trees in search of grapes and berries, being as fond of succulent or pulpy fruits as they are of the seeds of corn and grasses. On the least appearance of danger, they at once glide into the interior of the nearest thickets. During the summer heats, they frequently resort to sandy roads to dust themselves, carelessly suffering people to approach them until within a few yards, when they only remove to the nearest bushes, until the intruders pass. During winter, The cardinal grosbeak frequently shows itself in the farmyard among turtle doves, jays, mockingbirds, and various species of sparrows, picking up its food from the store daily supplied to the poultry. It now and then seeks refuge at night in the lee of some haystack, or throws itself with many other birds among the thickest branches of the nearest evergreen tree. The flight of the species is strong and rapid, although seldom continued to any great distance. It is performed by glidings and jerks of the tail. When the bird is alighted, it also frequently juts its tail with grace. Like all birds of the genus, it hops, but does not walk. Its song is at first loud and clear, resembling the finest sounds produced by the flageolet, and gradually descends into more marked and continued cadences, until it dies away in the air around. During the love season, the song is emitted with increased emphasis by this proud musician, who, as if aware of his powers, swells his throat, spreads his rosy tail, droops his wings, and leans alternately to the right and left, as if on the eve of expiring with delight at the delicious sounds of his own voice. Again and again are those melodies repeated, the bird resting only at intervals to breathe. They may be heard from long before the sun gilds the eastern horizon, to the period when the blazing orb pours down its noonday floods of heat and light, driving the birds to the coverts to seek repose for a while. Nature again invigorated, the musician recommences his song when, as if he had never strained his throat before, he makes the whole neighborhood resound, nor ceases until the shades of evening close around him. Day after day the song of the red bird beguiles the weariness of his mate, as she assiduously warms her eggs. And at times she also assists with the modesty of her gentle sex. Few individuals of our own race refuse their homage of admiration to the sweet songster. How pleasing is it when, by a clouded sky, the woods are rendered so dark that were it not for an occasional glimpse of clearer light falling between the trees, you might imagine night at hand, while you are yet far distant from your home. How pleasing to have your ear suddenly saluted by the well-known notes of this favorite bird, assuring you of peace around, and of the full hour that still remains for you to pursue your walk in security. How often have I enjoyed this pleasure, and how often, in due humbleness of hope, do I trust that I may enjoy it again. Thus, The Northern Cardinal by Audubon.